going to see about journal, that is process of journalizing. Okay, so the first video, if you have not seen, please watch that, because in that we have studied some important concepts like accounts, types of accounts, the golden rules. And if you see, we have steps like if you want to do ledger, subsidiary, trial balance, anything, journal is the main thing. And not only these 5 steps are there, but apart from this we have balance sheet, P&L accounts, and many more things. Okay, so coming to journal, right? So what is journal? So the first step is the storing of transaction in books, right? So journal is nothing but storing the transaction in books in the chronological order, which means storing based on the date. Okay, so it is like date wise storing. So first we are going to see the format, and then we are going to see the problem, and we are going to use this same problem for all, like ledger, trial balance, and everything. Okay, so that's how we can correlate with the previous format and the next format. Okay, so let's get started. Right, so here first let's see the format. So first is we have date, which we write simply, suppose we are talking about this transactions, we'll write this date, and then we are going to write about the accounts, or the debit or credit, whichever account is involved. All those accounts, like every transaction will have 2 accounts, those accounts we are going to write in the particulars. And then coming to the LF is nothing but ledger folio. Now what is ledger folio means? It is like the next step of the ledger is storing the transaction in the journal. Okay, so there whichever page the transaction is stored, right, that page number we are going to write under the LF. So in this way, any transaction which we are reading in the ledger we can refer into journal, and any transaction which we are reading in the journal we can refer it in ledger. So that's how we can read one another, like one transaction in multiple books. Now every account's corresponding amount will write here. Okay, now other factors, like every transaction will have a debit account and credit account. So whichever account is debiting first, so that will write in the first and its corresponding amount. Okay, here's the debit account and the debit amount. Next we'll have a credit account, next the credit amount. I hope that is clear. Okay, now let's get started with the problem. Okay, so first transaction is on Jan 1st, Rakesh started business with rupees 50,000. So here we can write Jan 01. Okay, now particulars. So here we are going to write about the account. So like we did in the last video, don't worry about what category each account is belonging to, just to see what are the accounts involved and write it. So here we can see Rakesh started business with cash 50,000. So if you are doing this problem or seeing this problem for the first time, you can say that there is a person involved, so there must be a personal account, but that is not correct. Okay, so if there is a Rakesh account involved in this transaction, only in that case we are going to consider Rakesh as a personal account. But let's read the complete transaction. Started business with cash 50,000. So here we can see cash account is involved, and business for starting of business means it is a share capital account. So share capital account is nothing but a personal account. So there we cannot consider it as a Rakesh account, but that account will be the share capital account. So if you don't know what is share capital, refer to the previous video. Okay, so we saw that we have cash account and we have share capital account. Okay, now we are not going to write the ledger folio number as of now, but we are going to simply write down the accounts and its corresponding amount. So here cash account is what, which type of category? It is a asset. So asset is nothing but a real account. Now what is happening with the cash? So if you see, their business is going to start, means some money is going to come from the share capital to the cash account, because only when the money comes in the cash account, business is going to start. So with respect to cash account, money is coming in. So when trying to analyze this kind of things, right, don't assume yourself as an organization or yourself as a giver or receiver, because initially when we try to understand, we see whether I am an organization, so am I debiting, am I crediting. So don't see yourself as a third person, assume you are the account and then see what is happening. So here we are a cash account, and in the cash account money is coming in. Okay, so it is a debit. So in case of debit, what is the amount? 50,000. So we write 50,000 here. So of course you can think the other one is going to be in credit account. Okay, that is cool, but when we are trying to understand, that is not the correct format. So share capital, what is happening? Share capital is nothing but a personal account, and in that account money is going out. So what we are going to see, that we have a personal account and money is going out, means it is giving, so that is a credit. So that's how we read it. Okay, so here I am going to write 50,000 credit. Now let's store this on next slide. Clear the accounts, and our next transaction is first date, so we'll modify the date. Now what is happening with the transaction? So Rakesh take bank loan for 2000. So here what we can say, what all accounts are involved? Just pause the video and guess. Okay, then you can continue. So here we can say that a Rakesh account is involved. Can we say that? Because in previously we said that it was a shared capital. So now we can say that no again, because 2000 is our related to cash account and there is a bank loan involved in it. So here we are going to consider bank loan account. Okay, so don't worry about whether it is a credit or debit, just write it cash account and then we have a bank loan account. Okay, now if we after our analysis we come to see that this is a debited account, then we write bank loan in the first line. Okay, so let's see what is happening. So Rakesh take bank loan for 2000. So what is happening here is cash is coming in to the cash account. So cash was our real account, that is an asset account, and money is coming in. So we write money is coming in, so the cash account is getting debited. So let's write here, now debit amount is our 2000. Similarly bank loan is what? Bank is giving a loan, so money is going out. So bank loan is again, bank is a third party. Okay, so third party or any other person who is with whom we are doing business, we consider them as a personal account. So personal account, not our account, it is their personal account. So bank loan, money is going out. So what is happening? Personal account, money is going out, means the giver, so it is a credit. So we write here 2000. Let me pause and copy paste this on the next slide. Okay, now let's clear this cash account, bank loan, this amount, this amount. Okay, so now our thing is Jan 04th. So what is happening? Purchased goods for cash rupees 58,000. So here what all accounts are involved? One is the cash account is involved and another one is purchased account. So again you can say that we purchase product 1, product 2, product 3. So here we are generalizing and writing. Similarly for sold good we are going to have a sales account. Similarly for pays account we have a different account. So likewise we are going to generalize and consider the accounts. So yeah, our transaction is purchased goods for cash 58,000. So here we have purchased account and then we have cash account. Okay, now what is happening? Purchased goods means something is coming inside purchase. Now if we are purchasing goods means that is going to be our asset. So what is happens? Asset and something is coming inside that asset. So we are going to say that purchased goods is our asset and it is coming in. So we are going to debit that transaction, debit that account. So here we are going to debit what amount? 58,000. Similarly cash account means a real account and the money is going out. So money is going out means we are going to credit it, 58,000. Okay, now let me copy paste this on the next slide. Copy, paste. Yeah, we are clear. Let me clear these accounts. Okay, now our next transaction is on Jan 7th. So what is happening here? We have purchased stationery and office supplies. So here if you see purchase stationery and office supplies 6,000 from Ankit on credit. So here whether now what Ankit on credit means, Ankit is giving out. So here we can say that Ankit's personal account is coming into picture. Okay, because here no cash is involved. Okay, is there any cash involved? So cash account will not come into picture. So here we can see there is first thing which is goods, which is again a purchase thing, and then we have something called Ankit on credit. So here the purchased goods is different and here purchased stationery and office supplies are different. If you consider this part as purchased goods, your balance account will be done, but if you segregate this from the purchased goods, that will be good, because here we can see different terminologies so this will be considered as a different account overall. Okay, so the account that we can see is this one, and the next account that we see is Ankit's account. So Ankit's account means personal account. So now let's see. So this is our purchased means our asset. So asset is our real account. So what is happening? 6,000 worth asset is coming in. So what is happening? Asset what comes in. So here we can say that it is coming in. So what is happening? Coming in means debit. So here we are going to debit the amount. Amount is 6,000. Similarly, Ankit is giving something. So personal account, Ankit the giver means the credit. Okay, so credit is happening. So let's write here 6,000. So throughout this transaction I forgot to mention something. So in the format, right, so we write this thing. So this is like fixed, I forgot to mention initially. So here we write DR. Okay, and for the account which is dealing with the credit, we write 2. Okay, so here we are going to write 2 account. If cash is there, 2 cash. So whatever account is here, we are going to write 2 before it, and whatever the account is there in the first line, we are going to write DR in front of it. Okay, let me clear this and copy paste on this next slide. Okay, yeah, I did that. Now our next transaction is sold goods for cash 12,000. So let's write date first, Jan 10. Now what all our accounts are involved? One, we can see cash account for sure, and here sold goods means some selling is happened, so we can say sales account. So let's write sales, and this is the format, and we are going to write. So we are going to decide whether it is a debit account or credit account. Then we are going to write whether we need to write DR or we need to write 2. And the next account is cash account. Okay, so here we can see that sold goods means goods is giving out. Now goods is what? Our asset, and cash is what? Our cash is also our asset. So if we are not sure what sales is, like it is a liability or whether it is a expense, what it is, but we are know what type of account is cash. So this trick we are going to identify, like that is not correct way of understanding, but if we don't know, we can take decision in this manner. So cash is a real account, we know, and we are getting 12,000 because we are selling the goods. So what happens? Cash account is our real account and it is coming in. So we can say it is getting debited. So what we can say? So this should come first, right? Because for that we are going to write the debit. So here, since this is our debit, we can write cash account DR. Now what is the amount? 12,000. Okay, so sales account is, again we can say it also comes under our the second type, that is our real account. So here what is happening? So something is going out. So what goes out is our credit. So here we can say we are going to write 12,000, but we have to write 2 before our sales account. I hope this is clear, right? Let me move this to the next slide. Okay, so now our next transaction is pays 2,000 to Ankit. So first step is write the date, Jan 16, and next we are going to say what are the accounts are involved. So one, we can say pays 2,000 means cash account is involved, to Ankit. So we can say 2,000. So the thing which like bank loan was taken, that is now getting paid. Okay, so here we can say one is Ankit's account and the other one is cash account. So what is happening? Pays 2,000 means cash is going out. So what is the case in that? Cash is our real account and it is going out, means it is a credit. So we can say cash account is our credit account. Okay, so cash, real account, we are paying it, so money is going out. So we write 2,000 here, and since it is a credit account, we write 2. Okay, now Ankit pays 2,000 to Ankit. Now Ankit is getting amount, right? So initially he sold his goods on a credit, now he is getting that amount. So we can say Ankit is our debit account. So we write A, C, and we write DR dot. Now here, since the amount, okay, so if we see based on the golden rule, Ankit is getting the amount. So personal Ankit is a personal account and he is the receiver. So we say that the transaction was debiting with respect to Ankit. So here we are going to write 2000. Okay, now let me copy. So this slide you can refer later, all transactions at once. Now let me clear this. Coming to Jan 25th. So on Jan 25th, salary paid 4,000 and rent is 12,000. So here we have kind of different thing. Okay, so if you have seen, if this transaction could have come in our general book of accounting, what we are going to do is we are going to write salary paid 4,000. So for that we are going to write salary account, cash account, and then we are going to write rent account and cash account. So that's how we write it in two formats. But since we are doing what we are doing now journal, so we are going to have the complete statement in the same transaction. So here we can say three accounts. So one is salary account, and the next one is a rent account. So let me, I think I need to add one more, insert a row below. Okay, and the last one is our cash account. So we don't know which is credit, which is debit as of now. Okay, so let's see, salary paid 4,000 means salary account is getting the amount. So salary is our what we can say, we are paying salary means it is our expense. So expense is something, any activity which is required in order to run the business. So here we can say salary paid is getting the amount, so it is kind of an expense. So here expense. So if we sell goods, right, so that will comes under, like we are getting some income out of that. So in that case it will be a gain and income. So here we are paying salary. So salary paying means it is our expenses, not losses, but all expenses and losses will come under this. So if it is a depreciation, that will come under loss, but here we are paying, which is not our loss, it is our expense. So it is a nominal account and it should be debit. So debit amount salary 4,000. Similarly, rent is something which is our expense to run the business. So similarly we are going to write 1200 is our nominal account and comes under the expense. So if it is getting a money, so rent account is getting money, right, so we write it as a debit. Yeah, in case of nominal accounts, we see whether it is a liability, whether it is a loss and expenses or whether it is a profits or gains. Okay, in case of real account, we see whether it is a liability or whether it is a asset. Okay, so based on that we see whether we need to see the money is coming in or going out, or whether it is which category. So based on these golden rules again we decide debit or credit. So now our case is rent. Rent is our expense, so expense is nothing but debit. Okay, so let's write 200 here. Now 4 plus this complete thing is involved in the cash account. So we say cash account is amount is going out of cash account. So what is happening, amount is going out from the cash account, so we say it is a credit, right? So 4 plus 1200 is 5200. Now this is our account DR. Similarly this is our account DR, and similarly this is our credit account, so we write 2. So this was a kind of different transaction that we have seen today. So let me have a new slide. Okay, so I hope you are getting the concept. Similarly we are going to write for all this, but now let's do a bit quickly. So the next transaction is Jan 30, and here we are getting sold goods on credit 8,000. Okay, so for this sold goods on credit, right, so these kind of things, for this I have prepared notes. So if you can see this statement, if you are able, one second, based on this statement you will be able to understand. Okay, let me paste here. So this, please see this. Okay, so credits and account payable are if to whom we have to pay the money, to whom money is owed. Now the current assets are credit sales, means for example, take a real-time scenario. You have goods and you have sold it, but you have not received amount yet, means you have sold it on credit instead of selling it on money. So you have sold it on credit. It means that I, the person who sold the goods, I have to receive the account. I am going to receive the money in future. So we can say that me here is nothing but account receivable. So account receivable is simply we call as debtors. And similarly the accounts payable, so if we take loan from the bank, okay, now in that case I have to pay that back, so in that case I am going to be account payable, so that is creditor. So these two statements are really good one to understand what to do when there is some credit or debit coming into picture. Okay, so in our case what is happening, we can see sold goods, so here we can say sales account is involved, sales account. And what is the other thing, credit 8,000 means we have something called sold on credit sale. So credit sale is nothing but accounts receivable we can write, or we can write debtors. So we are going to write that as of now. So we have debtors. So what is happening, sales account 8,000 is gone. Okay, 8,000 is gone. So sold means what, we are sell something means we are getting profits. So what is happening in terms of profit, it is a credit. So let me write that credit. So this is going to be our 8,000. Similarly accounts receivable will be like the debit thing, because it is something which is going to receive the amount, so we are going to write 8,000. So is this correct? No, right? Why? Because anything that is having a debit should be written first. So let me cut, oh my bad, let me cut this and write it here. And similarly this is going to come down. So that's why don't worry which account to be written first, just write in and later on we can change it. Okay, so this was our credit sale. So this new concept we have learned today. Let me remove this, Control C, Control V. Okay, now our final transaction. Okay, so here good thing is, if in normally if you have read about this account receivable, account payable, you could have forgot, but because we came across this problem and then we came to know that okay, credit sale means the account has to receive the amount, so we call it as account payable, and that's why what has to do, accounts payable is also known as debtors, and it is a debited part of the transaction. Okay, yeah, now our final transaction, let me clear this, Jan 31. So here Rakesh withdraws 3,500 for personal use. So here we can see that cash account is involved for sure, and there is something called withdrawals. So here the new account we say is withdrawal account, or we can also say drawings account. So that is again a financial term, but we can also say withdrawal account or drawing account. So we have two accounts involved here, drawings account, and then we have, this is not drawing, it is drawings, and then we have cash account. So what is happening, if you are not sure what is a drawings account or which category does it belongs to, that is fine. So we see what is cash account because we know that. Okay, now 3,500 is withdrawal from the cash account, means money is going out of the cash account. So what happens, cash account goes out credit. Okay, so we write that in the credit part. So here our amount was 3,500. So our withdrawals is money is coming into drawings account, so we can say that it is a debit account. And now since this is a debit, we write a DR, and this is a credit, so we write 2. Okay, so I'll have this presentation link in the description, and this was our final transaction. Okay, so we completed our second step of journal. Now we are going to use the same transaction to create the ledger in the next video. So with respect to journal or any specific transaction, if you have any queries, please write down in the comment section. If you like the explanation, please subscribe. Yeah, that's it for today. Thank you.